Mayfield from the pocket, still got it. Flips it to the end zone, touchdown!
You better run, you better hide, you better lock your house and keep the kids inside. They come the 20th century's latest scam. He's a half a boy, half a man.
I think it's time to set the record straight on a video that I recently made. I need to respond to the Baker Mayfield discussion because I received a lot of hate for what I said, some of which understandable and some of which ill-advised in my opinion. Here's a few things right away. I'm aware that wasn't a great video. Was I being a dick and taking cheap shots wherever I could in that video? Yeah, absolutely. I didn't look at Mayfield's play in depth and it was more of a spontaneous rant. I've seen that my analysis videos were very well received and a lot of people have valued my opinion on players, which makes me feel responsible to do this clarification. I'll try to revisit the Mayfield situation again real quick in this announcement. First things first, I don't hate the Browns. I don't hate Baker Mayfield. I don't want him to fail. I don't root against players. I'm an analyst, not a betting man, so I recognize my responsibility to approach these issues more objectively. Here's why I said, what I meant by it, and how some misunderstandings came to be. Most of what made the Mayfield pick so bad in my eyes is the circumstances in which it happened. I don't think he stinks to high hell and is an undraftable bust. I do think he stinks to high hell and is an undraftable bust at number 1 overall in the 2018 NFL Draft. If Mayfield was in next year's class, he'd be my number 1 overall quarterback. Because next year's quarterback class, as it stands right now, is pretty awful, relatively speaking. Which is normal for a class immediately following one like this. With guys like Rosen and Darnold entering the draft as juniors, the next one is typically pretty devoid of that quality. Which is exactly the point that I'm making. What makes the Mayfield pick such an awful mistake is the mere fact that Sam Darnold is available. I don't understand what can make a team think that Mayfield is a better option than Darnold, having seen everything either guy has done on and off the field. Mayfield is a heck of a player, the guy can ball, and I never wanted to let that come into question. If I'm the Ravens at 32 and Mayfield is there, I'll scoop him up for his upside with no second thought. A number 1 overall pick is the fate of a billion-dollar franchise in a single person. Making that person the most questionable guy of all candidates, by far the longest shot to make it happen in the NFL, cannot come from any semblance of logic. Statistically and historically, his height speaks against him. Yeah, he could be Drew Brees, it's extremely unlikely. His off-the-field lifestyle and character speak against him. Yeah, he could be Joe Namath, it's extremely unlikely. I know Mayfield does not equal Manziel. He's more passionate about football, a more responsible team leader, and more talented on the field than Manziel. The parallels are there. I'm not diverting from my position on it being an awful pick. I'm trying to explain more reasonably what my position is and how it came to be. Baker Mayfield has the typical pattern of a bust quarterback. An off-the-field troubled quarterback. The pattern is present and it is undeniable. And Cleveland is the one team that should know better, because the Manziel experience was so recent. Not to mention they could have had him at 4. The Browns were arguably the only team that had him in their top 2 quarterbacks. Nothing is guaranteed, and if he turns out to be a 10-time Pro Bowler and gets it all together, I will acknowledge I was wrong, I really will. I hope this managed to set the record straight at least a bit. I'm not a mindless hater and none of what I say comes from an uninformed point of view. That doesn't mean I changed my opinion, but it means people who disagreed with me and cursed me out can now see this as a better explanation of why I said what I said. I won't delete that other video. It's staying up and I'll be fair about it. If it turns out to be my most incorrect assessment ever, I'll revisit it and I'll own up to it. Before I go, I quickly want to address 2 things. First of all, I'm going to do the Rams v 49er analysis video that I asked about in the Jimmy Garoppolo video. Dozens of people asked me to do that, so it's happening. Also, I'd like to give a special shout out to someone who goes by the name of HG on YouTube and Red and Bold in the 49er fan community. That guy is a writer for NinersNation.com and he actually wrote an article about my Garoppolo breakdown for the website. So huge thanks to him, that's amazing, and also leads me to this point. Feel absolutely free to share my videos around. I've had people ask me whether it's okay to post it on their blog or share it on fan sites, and it absolutely is. I have no problem with that, and I actually appreciate the hell out of it. Just don't claim it as your own work, you know, the whole basic decency stuff. And I'm happy to see it shared around, and every single comment telling me that my breakdowns help people understand football more means the world to me. That's what I'm trying to do after all. So thank you for watching. Next video should be coming up soon, and we'll get back to breaking down football in that one again. I'll give you a hint. We're looking at the most iconic play in recent NFL history. So be sure to subscribe and check that out for another look at and beyond football. I've been Alex, and I'll see you in the next one.